Alright, first tutorial or like how-to video I've ever done, but I figured I'd share it with you guys. I'm going to be installing an overhead light fixture in my bathroom. I've never done this before. I've seen my dad do it. I've helped him do it before, but this is my first time on my own. And I wanted to show you guys how I did it. This would be perfect for a beginner who's never done this. I can walk you through and just show you what's going on. The first thing is we want to focus on safety. So we want to make sure in the breaker panel in the basement or wherever it's located that you've turned off wherever you're going to be installing this light. So you have to identify where it is. I used my wife upstairs. I called her on the phone and just flipped all the switches, and when it went off, she told me it went off, so I knew which one it was. And of course we'll double check when we get upstairs and make sure the light's off, but for those of you who've never seen this, take a look. It's pretty basic. So here's a new panel. It was installed when they rewired our house, and I wasn't familiar with all of the jargon or the abbreviations or logos, but after a while what I did, like I said, is we just flipped them on and off. You just go through off, on, and when the light went off, I identified that this was the one. I'm keeping this off. I'm going to close this, in case anyone wants to come hang out in the basement and mess with the switches, which won't happen, but just for safety, keep it closed. And let's move to the next part. Let's go up to the bathroom where I'll be putting this light in here. I mean, maybe some of you guys really like this and you don't have to go any further. Just leave this light. Here, take a look. So we're going to take that down. What I have to do is, again, make sure the power is off. I've like triple checked that. And the next thing would be to unscrew the wire connectors, undo the connection up there. Alright, so if you look right up here, you can see that I took out the old light fixture. If any of you guys are interested in it, selling it on eBay without a bulb for, about 25 bucks, but make me an offer in the comments within reason, and maybe I'll send it to you. But anyway, what we're going to do now is, following directions, we're going to start mounting, getting all the hardware ready to mount and get it set up to mount our new light. So I'm just going to put the camera down and you'll be able to watch me struggle through this or be successful. Either way, you're going to be able to see how this is done. All right, so here we go. First, let's go over, make sure I have all the parts that I need. So following the directions, it said I need my mounting strip, which is right here, which then also has the threaded tube, which is this piece attached to it. All right, I'm going to put that down here. I have the nut. It's going to go on the end of that. And then I have the two box screws right here. I have my Phillips head, flathead, interchangeable driver. And it really helps to have something like this, so that way you can just put all your pieces in one place. They're not going to fall off of your ladder and be a real pain in the ass. So here we go. I'm going to put the camera down and you guys can watch. So we want to take off the old place for the ground, because that's going to get in the way of where we're mounting. All right, and I'm just going to put that off to the side in another spot. Now, the directions just tell me to attach the mounting strip to the outlet box using the outlet box screws. So this house is pretty old, so the one we have is a little bit different than what a lot of you are used to, but that's all right. It'll still work. Here we go. Oh, and in the directions, you want to make sure that you're installing this the proper direction, as in facing, this way or that way. All right, and the directions say to have it this way. All right, sorry about that. Ran out of storage on the phone. Total first world problem. So anyway, let's take a look here. I ran into quite a little bit of a problem. I just had to kind of think outside the box. Remember, this is an old house, and that what's going to be up here mounting the lighting fixture is a little bit different than maybe in a newer home. So let's just take a quick look. You'll see what I'm talking about. So right here, right here and here, we want to get our box screws mounted. And what we just got to do, because this is old, like I said, so go up in here And you want to thread that just a little bit, hold it in place. Alright. And then we'll come in and you'll just use this and you'll screw into these holes right there. Alright, so I'm going to do that from down here, but I hope you can see that. Alright, so there. I've got it attached now, it's up in place, it's right here, it's secure, it's snug. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to get the plate, I'm going to bring that back up here, and we're going to just kind of put it in place, see if it fits correctly, see what I have to adjust, and go from there. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so now we're going to put the plate on and just see if there's enough room for the nut to secure it in place. So I'm just going to put the camera down and be able to see me do that. Alright, there's definitely enough room. Remember, it said do not install it yet. Obviously, we won't have any juice, we won't have any lines connected, so it would be pretty pointless. But we just want to make sure that it's set up, that it can fit. Alright, I'll be back momentarily, we'll keep moving on. Okay, so I'll be reading you the directions, and then we'll just go ahead and get to work. So it says strip 3/4 inch of insulation from fixture wire ends. Twist stripped ends together with pliers, black to black, white to white. Blacks are hot, whites are neutral. Snip those ends. Wrap the ground wire from the outlet box around the green screw on the mounting strip, and then connect the ground wire from the outlet box to the ground wire from the fixture. Helpful hint, if the outlet box doesn't have a ground wire, you can attach the ground wire from the fixture directly to the green screw on the mounting strip. We're going to attach the wire connectors to the ends. We'll tape the wire connectors and wires together with electrical tape, and we'll move on. So let me get set up, and we'll get going. You'll just be able to watch. I'm just going to put the camera down. Now, I'm not going to be stripping the wire because the electricians who rewired this whole home, give a quick shout out, RJ Bear Electric, they already had it stripped off the lighting fixture there. So I'm not skipping that step. It's just already stripped back, so I don't feel the need to strip anymore. That's not a good idea. All right, so we're going to move on. If we look here, got our black, got our white, got a ground, and I removed, there's no ground wire on the old box. So what we're going to do is we're just going to connect it to this green ground right here. I'll show you when we're all set up. I've got them connected. So now I just want to give it a twist with my pliers and really ensure that we've got something solid, we've got a solid connection. Alright, so we've got our black connected. Now we're going to do our white. And then get the pliers, twist them together. Be careful, a lot of times the wiring from these lighting fixtures isn't nearly as durable as what comes in the Romex. So when you're making these connections, just don't damage the lighting fixture. You're going to have to strip a little more and start over. And we'll connect our ground from here, and then we'll do ground last. Should be patient. Now I'm going to connect my ground to the green ground up here. Get that screwed in nice. And then that's also going to kind of hold it for a second for me, so I can electrical tape the connectors. I don't know if that's the suggested way to hold it in place, but it works for me since I'm by myself. So let's take a look. Got our ground connected here. Very, very important. All right, got our wires coming down. We've got white coming to white. Got our black coming out, got black. All right, everything's connected. So now we're going to move on to the next step. I'll be right back. All right, so we're almost there. Next part is we're just going to install the plate to the ceiling. After that, we're going to put the dome on, and we're just going to make sure everything's good to go. Now, it's starting to get difficult for some people because you get impatient again. So please just take your time, and if it doesn't fit, something doesn't work, just kind of retrace your steps and figure out what might have went wrong. But don't lose patience. This is when things get damaged and you end up going back to Lowe's or the Home Depot to buying the same product again. So just stick around, watch what I do. We're going to need an adjustable wrench for this, and that's really about it. All right. I'm going to tuck everything back up into the cavity. I have that advantage here is that these old homes are all plaster and lathe. Actually, all right, sorry for the abrupt stop, but as I was working, I noticed I'm talking about all this safety, and I completely made a mistake. I'm going to show you guys what I fixed, and we'll just go from there. So what I forgot to do was take the ground out of the pigtail, out of here, all right, out of the Romex, and connect it to the connect it to my grounding screw with the mounting fixture, and then take that out and connect it to the ground that comes from the fixture itself. All right, so that's what I did. I think it's good to keep that in here and show you that I made a mistake, but I made that mistake before I turned power back on. I caught it, I fixed it, and I showed you guys that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just install the dome over that, and we should be good. I'll keep the camera on. We just want to tuck as much of this up as we can, keep it out of the way. There we go. If you have a little bit of a cavity, go ahead, stick it up there. Use it. Alright, so now, careful not to touch any of the LEDs. Place the nut. And I mean, will your light fail if you touch the LEDs? Probably not. They're pretty durable, but it's just a good idea. You know, if you don't need to touch it, don't. So finger tighten it. Let's get out your adjustable. Turns. Be nice and snug and flush with the ceiling. And in these old homes, sometimes the ceilings aren't completely flush. That's something else to keep in mind if you're working in an older home versus a newer home. How's it look from down there? Good? Mm-hmm. That's my cameraman. She said it's good, so I'm going to keep moving on. Alright, here's the dome. Just going to put that on. You just want to find where it clips, and usually little knobs or nubs that allow you to insert. Alright, feels good. Like I said, it's not going all the way to the ceiling, but it's also these old ceilings are kind of weird. So what I'm going to do now is go back down, turn on the power, and we're going to come back up and see if it works. Alright. All right, so what I want to do is we're back in the basement. We're about to turn power back on, and fingers crossed, everything works. You can have the light successfully be in the bathroom. I don't have that dangling bulb. So let's take a look real quick. We're going to see the one that's off right here. And one thing I want to do is I'm going to put in pencil BR because I had trouble figuring out what the code on there meant since I'm not an electrician. So I'm just labeling it so the next time I'm down here, if I ever need to turn that off or on, I know exactly where it is. All right, let's take a look. Flipped it to on. I'm going to close the panel. And let's see what happens. We'll be back in a minute. All right, so I'm back upstairs in the bathroom. That's the moment of truth. We're going to see if everything I did today worked, if I followed the directions correctly. I'm still standing, so at least we did something right, and I didn't get shocked. I didn't get hurt. I'm not really joking about that. Again, safety is really important when working with electricity. But here we go. We'll do a quick countdown. 3, 2, 1. All right, so mission accomplished. I hope this helped you guys. Feel free to laugh if you want. Feel free to use it for a tutorial on your own, whatever you want to do. Like I said, the purpose of this was to help the beginner learn with me as I did this for the first time. So I'll talk to you later, and I'll have more tutorials to come as this house progresses, and I think of other things that might be able to help you guys out. Later.